is a scientist that was studying the human genome. And he studied it for over 25 years. And through much study and research, what he comes to the conclusion of is the human genome is made up of the DNA, the double helix, and each side of the helix has 72,000 genes, which combined makes 144,000 genes total in the human genome. Now, for those of you that know anything about the Bible, you know that's a number God uses. So that's a signature from God right there. That's his signature. And combined, they make 144,000. They're connected in the middle, looks like a twisted ladder, you know, the double helix. Now, this new technology they come out with introduces the third strand. Through mRNA messaging technology, it actually breaks a strand and puts in a third strand, which creates a triple helix. Go look at the Queen ceremony, you'll see what she did. She kind of told the world what was going on. Go look at the lighting strand. The Queen, I forgot the name of the festival, but the Queen lit a third strand of DNA. I mean a three-strand of DNA, a triple helix. Anyway, so if you have 72,000 on each side of the double helix, on each side of the twisted ladder, there you have a strand that runs down the right side and one that runs down the left. One strand is the mom, one strand is the dad of that subject. And that's 72,000 per side. You add that together, you have 144,000, a signature from God, showing you are created, you are created by him. Now you add that third strand, you've placed in now another 72,000. Now you have a triple helix. Now people say, well, this thing that's going around the entire world that everybody's choosing to get is not the mark. Well, let's look at that number. 72,000 per side for the natural genome is 144,000. Add the third strand in, it equals up to 216,000. The number of the beast is 666, or as the Bible states, 600, 6. Now, multiply this. 600 times 60 times 6 equals 216,000.
If you want to know the true history of Mother Earth, if you think that how much of what they're teaching our children in school is not even true, 20% of the Bible is not true, the same people who artificially twisted those books are the same people who are literally telling humanity what their history is. You did not come from an ape. Are you kidding me? So over 950 billion years ago, what is tatted on my neck is Lyra, 12th dimensional original celestial human beings, Lyrans, if you want to call it Elohai, Elohim, where that word comes from, right? It traces all the way back the lineage, and there's been 3 seedings of original celestial human beings. There's been 2 wipeouts, which happened at the Electric Wars and the 1,000-Year Wars. And this true history is written in Voyagers 2 by Ashiana Dean. And so this is the third and what some people say the final seeding. And so the true history before Egypt, they did a blank slate technology in Egypt where they literally scrambled the codes of the DNA Babel. All of these things come from a true story, right? And literally they scrambled the ley lines and the codes, and they told humans that, hey, there's these pharaohs who were greater than you. Absolutely not. The 12 original celestial human tribes have 12 strands of DNA. Every DNA strand is a bandwidth of frequencies to cellular memory. Activate your 6th DNA strand, then you'll be saying, I'm a pharaoh. And then activate more, right? And then you'll literally, before that, there was a flood in Atlantis. And so people are remembering their Atlantis cellular memory in the ceremonies that I facilitate. Before that, there were Lemurians. Shout out to my Lemurians in Kauai. It's in your DNA, by the way. Your DNA has the memory. Before Lemurians, there were literally the 12 original celestial human tribes. It's in your DNA. Okay, so now people are starting to remember and awaken their DNA, and there's been 3 seedings. And so literally this is the true history of Mother Earth, and this for some is the 3rd and final seeding. And so the truth will set us free, and history will repeat itself unless we learn from the past. So there's been 2 wipeouts in the past. It's a scalar wave war. What is scalar waves? The media, sound and light, television, radio waves, the music industry. You see what I'm saying? So once you start understanding the pattern of history, the same frequency on loop, So once history will repeat itself unless we learn from the past. And so literally it's so important for us to remember our true history, our true origin. We are the original celestial human beings made in the image and likeness of God, which is not a person in the sky. It's a base 12 eternal life mathematical code which lives inside of your DNA. And literally you can awaken it with the right sound, light, and symbols. And don't believe a word I say. Hit me on a message and I'll let you know how. So the truth of the 12 original celestial human tribes has been attempted to be covered up so many times in all of history. Why? Because the teachings say that you are who you've been looking for. You don't need a middleman between you and God. Everything is within your DNA. Direct connection to source. And so, for example, the story of the Celtics were a tribe 11. Their story was taken and changed. The story of the Vikings, one of the original celestial human tribes. History says that they were like violent people. No, they weren't. They were grid keepers of specific indigenous lands. Literally, the tribes were assigned to specific lands to protect the stargates, the chakras, the energy portals of Mother Earth. This is why over a period of time, systematically history was changed and literally there were expeditions. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue 1492. Do you really think that the history books of what they're teaching our children are real? They were sent here to literally take over Stargate 2 from the Native American indigenous populations who were murdered and their land was taken. Yes, the history books say it was for gold or what. No, it wasn't. It was for Stargate 2, which was literally here. Whoever controls the Stargates controls the flow of information. And once you start understanding this, you start realizing every single indigenous population has been systematically on purpose displaced and taken from their land because their DNA was literally key coded for the Stargates as protectors. The 12 original celestial human tribes were protectors and their DNA was coded to be able to open the stargates, and their women were systematically raped. Do you think that's an accident? Absolutely not. So the battle has always been for these important pieces of real estate on Mother Earth, which were key coded for the DNA of the indigenous living on that land. And history books have been changed to say that the Vikings and the Celtics were violent and there were all these, no, they weren't. They were in their original form before the history books were changed. They were protectors of the land. And the truth is now coming forward, and it's within you. It's in your DNA.